Jesus. Sometimes the waves look beautiful, long before they become dangerous. The water shines in the sunlight. The wind moves gently across the sea. And everything about the horizon feels like an invitation. But you know something my heart forgets? You know how quickly a peaceful tide can become a powerful current. You know how easily a wandering soul can drift farther than it ever planned. I have followed shining waves before, thinking they would carry me somewhere good, only to realize later that I was already far from the shore. So before the ocean rises again, before excitement pulls my spirit away, Jesus, hold me steady, anchor my soul before the beautiful waves break me. The sea inside my heart is restless, like a sailor searching land. Every shining dream looks hopeful, reaching out its open hand. Every wave reflects the sunlight, like a promise in disguise. Yet I've learned the quiet ocean can still hide a wild surprise. Sometimes the brightest waters, oh, carry currents I can't see. Anchor my soul, Jesus, when the waves begin to rise. Oh, anchor my soul, Jesus, when the ocean fills my eyes. Let your love become the harbor where my restless heart can stay. Oh, anchor my soul, Jesus, guide my spirit on your way. I remember chasing waters that were sparkling in the sun, thinking every moving current was a race that must be won. But excitement without wisdom can become a drifting sail, and a dream without direction often leaves a hopeful trail. Now I walk beside the shoreline, learning patience with the tide. Every shining opportunity is not the road my soul should take. Every glowing horizon is not a promise I should make. Anchor my soul, Jesus, when temptation fills the sea. Oh, anchor my soul, Jesus, keep the wandering out of me. When the currents start to whisper of adventures far and wide, anchor my soul, Jesus, keep me safely by your side. Some waves arrive like blessings, yet they carry storms below. Some tides appear like freedom, while they quietly pull the soul. Some oceans glow with beauty in the warmth of golden light. Some waters hide their danger till the wind begins its fight. Hold my spirit steady, when the deeper currents grow. Anchor my soul, Jesus. Ooh, let your peace become my guide. Oh, anchor my soul, Jesus. Stronger than the rising tide. If the waves grow wild around me, and the storm begins to roll, anchor my soul, Jesus. Anchor my wandering soul. The ocean may keep moving, but my heart will stay with you, Jesus. Anchor my soul. Oh, anchor my soul. Jesus, even when I learn to be careful, the ocean still looks beautiful. The water shines like a mirror of the sky. The horizon stretches wide and calm, and somewhere in the movement of the tide, my heart still feels the pull to follow. Not every wave looks dangerous. Some arrive dressed in beauty. Some come softly, almost peacefully, like they were sent to carry hope. But you see deeper than the surface. You see the currents that my eyes cannot notice. So before my heart runs toward the shining water again, before excitement begins to guide my steps, Jesus, remind my soul where safety lives. Be the anchor beneath my faith when the waves still shine. The ocean glows beneath the sunset like a promise made of gold. Every ripple looks like freedom to a heart that's growing bold. The wind begins a quiet rhythm, moving gently through the air, and the shoreline feels like somewhere every dream could start from there. Still I remember distant waters when my strength began to fade. Anchor my soul, Jesus. When the shining waves appear, anchor my soul, Jesus. When the ocean draws me near, let your peace become the when my restless heart can stay. Anchor my soul, Jesus. Guide my spirit on your way. There were tides I followed gladly, thinking they would lead to light. But the deeper I kept drifting, the more distant grew the sight. Every hopeful expectation felt like wind behind my sail. Yet the farther I restless storm.
Some tides promise adventure,
yet they pull the spirit from form.
some oceans glow with beauty
underneath the fading sun.
Some waters keep their danger
Till the quiet day is done,
hold my faith beneath your mercy
when the deeper currents grow. The waves may still shine, but I will stay where your anchor holds. Jesus.
keep my soul steady. Keep my soul steady.
Jesus. Sometimes the ocean outside is calm, but the tide inside my heart is still moving. The waves I see are not always the waves I fight. Some storms happen quietly within me. There are moments when my spirit feels steady, and other moments when something deep inside begins to drift again. Not because I want to leave the shore, but because the pull of the sea is strong. You understand the places in my heart that still feel drawn toward the water. So before my thoughts begin to wander too far, before the quiet tide inside me grows stronger, Jesus, hold me close, anchor the part of my soul that still feels the ocean pulling. There's a tide inside my spirit, moving softly through my mind, whispering about horizons that my eyes could never find. Every dream begins like water, touching gently on the sand. Yet the deeper it keeps rising, the less control I understand. Sometimes a quiet longing feels stronger than the shore. Anchor my soul, Jesus, when the tide begins to rise. Anchor my soul, Jesus, when the ocean fills my eyes. Let your truth become the shoreline where my restless heart can stay. Anchor my soul, Jesus, guide my spirit on your way. I have stood beside the water, watching waves that shine with light, thinking maybe this horizon holds the future that feels right. But the deeper I keep listening to the rhythm of the sea, the more I hear a quiet warning calling gently back to thee. Now I pause before I wander too far from the harbor's peace. Every hopeful expectation needs a wisdom to remember. steady when I pray. Some storms grow slowly in the quiet of the mind. Some waves begin as dreams that a hopeful heart can find. Some tides feel gentle when they first begin to flow. Some oceans grow dangerous long before the sailor knows. Hold my spirit firm in mercy when my inner waters move.
Anchor my soul, Jesus.
Be the calm beneath the sea.
Anchor my soul,
Anchor my soul.
Jesus.
Keep the wandering out of me, even when the tide is rising and my strength begins to fall. Anchor my soul, Jesus. Be the anchor of it all. The ocean outside may keep moving, but my heart will rest in you. Jesus, anchor my soul. Anchor my soul.
Jesus, I didn't think beauty could make me this tired. I thought the waves would bring freedom. I thought the movement would bring life. I thought chasing what shines would finally satisfy something deep inside me. But now I feel the weight of it all. The running, the hoping, the drifting. Every time I followed something that looked right, I ended up farther from peace. And I'm tired, Lord, tired of chasing waves that don't hold me. Tired of believing in waters that don't keep me. Tired of moving when my soul just wants to rest. So before I run again, before I follow another shining tide, Jesus, let me stay. Anchor me in a place where I don't have to keep searching. I have chased too many waters that were glowing in the light, thinking every moving current was a doorway into right. Every wave I followed closely felt like hope beneath my feet. But the deeper I kept going, the less I felt complete. Now the beauty of the ocean doesn't feel the same to me. Anchor my soul, Jesus. I'm too tired to drift again. Anchor my soul, Jesus. Let this restless journey end. Be the peace I've been searching in every wave I try to find. Anchor my soul, Jesus. Quiet every racing mind. I remember all the moments when I thought I found my way, only to feel feel the ground dissolve and the certainty decay. Every shining expectation turned to questions in the end, and the waves I trusted deeply never stayed enough to mend. Now I stand beside the shoreline with a heart that longs for rest. Every chasing leaves a distance between my soul and truth. Every wandering decision slowly steals eternal proof. I anchor my soul, Jesus, before I run another mile. Anchor my soul, Jesus, let me breathe for just a while. If the ocean keeps on calling with a voice that feels so real, anchor my soul, Jesus, teach my heart what's truly still. I'm tired of chasing beauty that disappears with time. I'm tired of following waters that never felt like mine. Tired of trusting feelings that shift like moving sand. Tired of reaching oceans that slip out of my hands. Hold me in a deeper stillness where my soul can finally stay. I don't need another horizon if it pulls my heart away. I don't need another journey if I lose myself along the way. Let me find a quiet harbor where your presence always lives. Anchor my soul, Jesus, be the rest I couldn't find. Anchor my soul, Jesus, be the peace that heals my mind. Even if the waves keep dancing underneath the golden sky. Anchor my soul, Jesus, teach my heart to not rely. Oh, I don't want to chase anymore. Jesus, I just want to stay with you.
Jesus, something has changed inside me. The waves are still there. The ocean is still moving. The beauty hasn't disappeared. But I'm not the same person anymore. I'm not as easily pulled. I'm not as easily convinced. I'm not as easily moved by what only looks good on the surface. Because now I know what it feels like to be anchored, and I refuse to go back to drifting without direction. So today, Lord, this is not just a prayer. This is a decision. I have seen the open waters in the way they call my name, but I've learned the cost of wandering, and I won't return the same. Every current that once pulled me has no power like before, because I found a deeper stillness waiting safely on the shore. Now my heart remembers clearly what it means to truly stand. I will not drift again, Jesus. I will stay where you have placed me.
I will not drift again, Jesus. Your strong hand will embrace me. Let the waves keep moving freely. They no longer lead my soul. I will not drift again, Jesus. You have taken full control. I don't fear the shining waters, I just see them differently. What once felt like opportunity now reveals what cannot be. Every way that used to tempt me now reminds me where I've been, and the peace I found within you is a place I choose to live. Now my spirit stands with clarity, not confusion in disguise. Every lesson formed a boundary, every fall became a guide. Every moment you restored me, built a strength I hold inside. I will not drift again, Jesus. I will stand upon your truth. I will not drift again, Jesus. You have anchored all my roots. If the tide begins to whisper of a path I used to know, I will not drift again, Jesus. I will not let go. I choose the harbor over motion. I choose the stillness over speed. I choose the truth above illusion. I choose the anchor that I need. I choose the peace you place within me. I choose the ground beneath my feet. I choose the voice, a voice that always leads me. I choose the place where I'm complete. I don't need the ocean louder to remind me who you are. I don't need another journey to confirm you brought me far. Every step I take is grounded in the truth that you remain. I will not drift again, Jesus. This is where my soul will stay. I will not drift again, yeah, you have shown a better way. Even if the waves are calling, with the voice I used to know, I will not drift again, Jesus. I refuse to go. The ocean can keep moving, but my soul is anchored. Jesus, I will not drift again.